Polish your piece. Masterpiece, then write a masterpiece. Deep breath and release. So all you need is depth, breath, and belief to polish your piece.
Polish your piece, we back. I'm so excited. Writers, readers, and in-betweeners. It's your boy Dev Rock, and y'all know who I got with me.
Man, you know who it is. It's your homie, The Truth, the Poet, in the building. Ready to rock out with y'all. You know, ready to set the record straight. We got a dope guest in here that I'm excited about, man. I ain't seen this man in years, but I'm glad to see him today. You gonna go through the rules and things? How we acting today? How we getting in?
Listen, tell us the first rule, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll get into the rest.
Got you. So the number one rule is, y'all know how I get down. If you know me, y'all always know that the number one rule is love. See, when we have love, we have everything great. No hate, man. We operate in peace and prosperity in here, all right? So we want to feel that love, use that love, put some love in the comments and, you know, in the sections, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead and do that. And then, all right, now finish off with the rest.
So
how else we acting?
Check it. Number 2, the most important thing for us to do is build community.
That's right.
All right, so the only way we build a community is if y'all hopping in. Like, look, we need you in the comments. We need you on social media. We need you to participate because that's what's going to bring everybody together, all right? Now, most importantly, you feel me, when you do so, because this is a writing podcast, we want you to be eloquent with your sharings. You know what I'm saying? Like, get poetical with your writings. You know what I mean?
Poetical, yeah.
I like
my
that.
favorite joint. Hold on real quick. We was somewhere, right? And a guy said multiplicity.
Multiplicity.
And my daughter was like, Daddy, I always thought you made that up. I was like, yo, y'all know I'm really nice with these words, right? Like, why y'all think? I make up some words, but multiplicity, that's a
I know. I'm used to the persnickety.
Persnickety with
Yeah, that one.
You know what I mean? So, we poets, we writers, this is what we gonna do.
Absolutely.
Man, we got a special treat for y'all here today. Mm-hmm. Listen, it is my pleasure to welcome the East Baltimore baby, Emmy award-winning poet and writer. This is the man that brought you Can't Clip These Wings. Mm-hmm. This man is knocking off every hood poet's dream. He got a commercial for Nike Foam Posit, New Balance, Under Armour. I mean, listen, this brother right here, Kondwani, Fidel, man, how are you doing?
Appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me, yo. For real.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I feel great, yo.
You feel good?
Yeah, I haven't really been doing too many interviews like past however many years or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, not purposely or nothing, but it's just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm excited for real.
Well, welcome, family. Welcome. We glad to have you. It was hard to get the cat, you know, because this man is busy. This man is busy. But he in the building.
I don't think it was your fault, but we was trying to find you for like 6 months.
Yeah,
and
for real.
That's a good thing when you're not easily accessible. I'm sure that cuts down on the tone food.
I'm accessible, especially for Truth, yo. Like, come on. She be downplaying it, but this really was one of my favorite poets. You know what I mean? Like, when I came on the scene, like I said it almost 10 years ago. I mean, I'm gonna say it now. I
appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that. But he is one of these ones out here, and I remember when he said what he wanted to do, and he definitely manifested, put it out in the atmosphere, and he's made it happen. So super proud of you, my guy.
Appreciate it, yo. Thank you, yo. Thank you.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna get it popping with these questions. Get into
Let's get it.
What's been going on with you. Now, we had sat here and collectively thought of your superpower, man. And so that's what we kind of do when we bring our artists out here on the platform, is kind of dig into their superpower, what we think is like their super gift to the world, or what they've really been doing. And Dad, what did we come up with? We said that this man's superpower is
commission work. Like, you know, we love how you always so Baltimore, you always yourself, but other brands want to attach themselves to your writing.
Yeah.
And you got so many artists out here who, that's their goal too. They want to be able to do that. And a lot of people would say, man, Baltimore can't. They put can't at the Baltimore a lot. But you've been able to maintain an authenticity of yourself and still be able to collaborate with big brands and do commission work. So today we want to talk to you about that.
Yeah. It's crazy because when I first started writing and performing, this wasn't it wasn't my goal. I just wanted to just be nice. And I like performing on stage. And when I released my first book back in 2015, like, I rushed it. I think it's trash. You know what I mean? At this moment, you know what I mean? Like, how you're your biggest critic. But I really wanted to put out a book because I was like, yo, books outlive people. And I was like, if I die, you know what I mean? And, you know, I just always been flirting with this idea, like an early death, like just from my brother passing away, homeboys, this was going on in the world, you know what I mean? I'm paranoid. I mean, so I was like, I need to drop a book like yesterday so everybody can know what I was on, how I felt, what I think about this, and not know he say, she say.
Right.
So it's crazy, like that's where it started. And then, you know, I'm just out performing at open mics, you know, around the city. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, some nights we'd do like 3 open mics in a night, like just riding around in the minivan, just hitting here, hitting there, just having fun. And I told myself, like, if I get 1 follower a day, then that's good money for me. You know what I mean? And doing these spaces, you know, in these open mic spaces, you know, people was seeing things in me that I really didn't know exist. You know what I mean? And it was mind-boggling at first. I'm like, y'all want me to teach y'all kids? Like y'all right? Like, y'all straight? You know what I mean? Like, like, y'all want me to the keynote, you know, this big conference with 3,000 people? I'm like, y'all sure? And I started just like seeing more value in myself when other people saw value in me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so that's basically like how it started.
Okay. So where did, like, who was those vital people? Who were those vital people that kind of like looked into you, and what did they say? Like, you know what I mean? And how did that make you feel?
I'm trying to think of, like, I mean, honestly, it started out with the spoken word community in Baltimore. You know what I mean? Like, people saying, hey, I want you to come here and perform. I want you to come through my open mic and perform. You know what I mean? And again, I like performing, but for people to reach out to me, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, it's something special going on. Yeah. You know, so it kind of like translated through, you know, other things. Okay. You know, like the same people, like, okay, we want something authentic. You know what I mean? So let's go get Kondwani. And like for real though, like early on, I used to be like, yo, like, why me? You know what I mean? Like, y'all really cashing out on me. Like, y'all, you know, all bets in on me. You know what I mean? I was like, that must mean something. And I remember one time it was this big famous author, and he was performing him, I think at the BMA or something like that. And it was like around that time, what happened? He performed he spoke at the BMA, and I think his name just like came up and something like that. And this was around the same time I had got an offer to go speak at Hopkins. Right. And I'm like, why would Hopkins get me when they can get this person? Like, why me? Like, something is fishy about this. But then somebody made me like change my way of thought and was like, exactly, they can get anybody, but they getting you. Right. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean? So like, I literally forgot who told me that, but it kind of just stuck with me.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
what was your first biggest gig?
I would probably say my first biggest gig was, okay, so this when the open mics was going on down on Redwood at that hotel, Redwood in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So I was performing down there, and this guy came up to me. I forget his name, but he came up to me and was like, after I performed, it was like, yo, my daughter told me to come down here and watch you perform or whatever, because, you know, she said that you good or whatever. And then he told me that his brother, I believe his name is Wendell Singleton, he's like big in the education world. He was like, my brother is looking for somebody to perform a poem at his education conference that's coming to Baltimore or whatever. and he from Baltimore, but I think this was like his homecoming. Like he'd been out of the city for like 20-something years or whatever.
Okay.
And I performed down at that's the Renaissance Hotel down there, and I performed there. It was like probably like 3,500 people, and I had wrote this poem. It was I forget the name of it, but it was something about like poverty and education and behind the bars, something like that.
Okay.
And I rocked that joint out, and I'm still getting like booked off of that gig. If that made like, cause somebody will see me, then I was invited to Delaware, and then I was invited somewhere else, and then it's like a ripple effect.
Yeah,
it's a ripple effect. Yeah, and I just took the opportunity.
So you started your commission work back then. Did they ask you to write the piece for them, or?
Yep, they asked me to write the piece.
Okay.
And I met with the guy, I forget his name, but the guy on their team, I met up with him like a few times, and he was just breaking down like what they want, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, all right, what do y'all want for real? You know what I mean? And like, it's crazy because people just be letting me do my thing. They was like, we would just want something raw, gritty. I'm like, all right, nigga, say less. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right. Yeah, I'm like asking, I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? So I think that was my friend. That was in 2015.
Okay.
So are you a full-time artist?
Yeah.
What was the...
What's the definition of a full-time artist?
Like, do you go clock in somewhere else, though?
Nah.
Yeah, so you do your art full-time. You provide for yourself, take care of your family.
Yeah.
Based off what you write.
Yeah.
Now, that was interesting that you asked that. Like, so what do you consider a full-time artist?
I mean, I guess you're right. You know what I mean? Like, you able to make a livable, wage off your art. I think that's it's beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely I'm grateful as I don't know what. You know what I mean? But yeah, and I a full-time artist.
Because, I mean, there are some artists out here who probably still clock into a space.
Yeah.
But,
you know what I mean?
like, the energy that they give to their art is still very much full-time.
Right.
And I don't know. I think that is something to talk about with what people really consider full-time art.
I think you're a full-time artist if you don't quit. That's it. Like, truthfully, how many people you done met that used to do poetry or used to rap or they used to, you know what I mean? So I think full-time artist is if you committed to it. Like,
and then artistry is a life work, right? So, like, you carry that with you for life, the way you do it, and you can tell the difference between somebody who did it as a hobby and somebody do it.
Absolutely.
As their life and light work.
You can sniff it out from a block away. Like, they ain't gonna be here. No disrespect, but you know what I mean. Like,
right, absolutely.
People try. Like, I tried. Man, I done picked up a camera before. I done tried to paint. I done tried to skateboard. I was in undergrad. I heard what's that Lauryn Hill album called? Unplugged. Went and bought a fucking guitar. I sucked. Shit would hurt my fingers. You know what I mean? Like, I tried a lot of stuff too. You know what I mean?
That album keep coming up.
Yeah, because Lauryn Hill was just a genius. But she's amazing.
I actually probably wouldn't consider myself a full-time artist. I actually devote less than 50% of my time to my art, even though I work for myself.
But I feel like everybody percentage will be different. Like, you do what you like, what's in your bandwidth. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But even what you do is in the realm of art.
So you are full time.
I'm a full time businessman. You feel me? In my opinion of how I break it down, because let's say if I got 15 emails to send, or if I got a poem to write, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna hit the licks that's in my emails before I'm gonna finish writing. And I'm gonna make a mistake at a performance, not memorizing my stuff, because I had a meeting that I get what I'm saying. So that's why I can't call myself a full-time artist. You know what I mean? Personally, because that's not
fair.
the most important in my situation now. I am trying to change that up a little bit. Like, I'm getting back to more art being more 50%, which is
that's fair.
But,
and also too, like, when you got the space, just rock out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's more business, then sometimes it's more, hands-on art. You know what I mean? So you got it. Like, you got it, bro. Come on, man.
For sure.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask that to y'all. Like, everybody out in the audience and everybody watching this, what do y'all consider a full-time artist? Are there's specific elements you have to have in order to consider yourself full-time artist? Because how long have you been full-time?
Since I started.
Since he's and that's
Because even when I wasn't making no, even when I wasn't making no money, like I don't know if it was delusion or what, but I'm like, nigga, I'm not getting no job. Like I'm a rock out. You know what I mean? Like I was working as a pool attendant when I graduated from VSU in 15, just to like keep a couple hours in my pocket, purchase my books to sell. Bought a little minivan so I can go to different. You know what I mean? So I can pay go to different open mics and stuff like that. But yeah, like I don't like. Is that full time if I wasn't really making no bread?
It is. It's not.
You know what I mean? Like,
did you have to take care of yourself?
I was staying with my grandmother.
But is that all you did? Was your art?
Yeah.
Well,
that's it.
There we go.
Just writing,
there are some broke folks out there. That's why they call us. That's why the term starving artist originated, because a lot of full-time artists aren't making the money that they need to. And it's an art to be in the business of making money with your art.
For sure.
So that, to me, that's why I said I still feel like, teaching that is still an art, and being in the business of it is still an art to pursuing like the gifts that you have. Yeah. But yeah.
Fluid.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about it, but get deeper. Like, what is your process when you get commissioned?
So they give me, basically like, I guess like bullet points or, like a one-sheeter type thing, and I have meetings or whatever, and they like, hey, we trying to accomplish this. This is our landscape of how we want to present things, and I'll just go into it and just write. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I gotta add the word, Oreos in there. Or I might gotta add Nike in there or New Balance in there, whatever the case may be. But for the most part, I just be thinking like, what's some shit that I want to hear, or like what's some shit that my homeboys and like friends want to hear. You know what I mean? And that's basically like how I do it. And I write it, and then, we go back to the drawing board, and they might say things like, this is a little bit too off, you know what I mean? Like off the grid, so we not going to say that. Like, perfect example, when I was writing for the Oreos, I put a line in there like, yeah, we going to we winning the World Series, blah, blah, but it was like, not this year. They was like, we ain't about to get too hype, bro. You know what I mean? So like little stuff like that, So
how do you deal with rewrites? I mean, is there a cap on how many rewrites you do? How do you feel emotionally? Does it affect your writing? Like,
it all depends on the person. Like, some stuff just be strictly business, and we just email, and they'll be like, okay, this is fine, but could you try to, convey this a different way, stuff like that. But then there's some people, like, I'm gonna keep using the Oreos because I got a great relationship with them, and like when we going through these editing process, like I'll be on the phone with them, or I might be in the office with them, or we text and we FaceTime, and so it's kind of a different process. Yeah.
Have you ever had a deal fall through because of a rewrite that somebody wanted? You didn't agree with it?
Not that I can think of.
How do you manage being so authentic and not ever having a beef with a brand? Of like, you know what? No, I'm not taking that out. That's very important to me. Or
and I've done that before, like, not beefing, but saying, because sometimes, perfect example, they call me and they want me to do my thing. So let me do my thing. So it's certain things where they're right when we editing. Then there's sometimes where I'm like, no, I gotta say this. Like, y'all ain't gonna get it, but this is it. You know what I mean? Even when I did the Oreos, you can't clip these wings. I'm like, we just riding, we just bipping, we just dragging. You know what I mean? And like, they don't really understand. The average person there doesn't understand what that language means, but they let me do my thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, thankfully I never had to like beef with no brands or nothing like that. It's kind of smooth sailing.
Okay, so it was so it's not really like hard to advocate for yourself, or like what tips would you give for somebody who you feel like would need to advocate for themselves in such a situation?
I would say And it's so crazy because I feel like my journey is just so different because like some stuff just be working out in my favor and I don't be having to do all these little,
preliminaries.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So so perfect example, when I was in my grad program, when I was getting my MFA at UB, right? It was people that didn't want to write certain things about their family because they was like, my mother gonna be mad at me. Or like they gonna be acting weird at Thanksgiving. And I'm like, they was like, Connie, how do you just write? And I'm like, I mean, they shouldn't have did what the fuck they did to me. And it wouldn't be nothing to write about. You know what I mean? And it's like, so, but in these spaces, for real, I'm like, if you ain't, why would you write that? Why would you do that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But again, people have different relationships with family, and people, are scared of certain members, or they don't want to be exiled, or they don't want to get talked about in a family group chat. But I was learning about family dynamics, you know what I mean, when people come to me and ask, you know what I mean? So again, it's just, you just gotta just be yourself, mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can't be scared. Like if you want to write it, you talking about it, you asking questions about it. So that's what you want to do. So do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You can't be thinking about what other people gonna think. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? About how it come off. And mind you, that's not saying you gotta cuss your grandma out, you know what I mean, in a poem or essay or something like that. But it's ways that you can convey what you've been through, how you feel, what you love, what you want. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And being authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's a key quality. I think we had K-Love here, and we were talking about authenticity.
I rock with Shorty too.
Oh, I love.
But she from Chicago, right?
She from Chicago, but she live here now, and she just go crazy every time. Every time I'm just like in amazement.
Shorty is tough.
Yeah, but she was talking about that and how. Just talking about how people don't want to be vulnerable. People, mm-hmm. like you were saying, people are scared to be vulnerable.
And it's crazy because it's not easy. Mm-hmm. Like I remember my first time performing on stage and like talking about things that I've been through in my life, whether it's, the things I've been through in my neighborhood, my friends getting murdered, or my little brother Fidel passing away, or depression and all these things. And I was in undergrad at VSU, and I was telling my cousin Avon, I was like, yo, I don't want to like say this shit and motherfuckers gonna think I'm crazy. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I don't want to be like he's scaring the broads. You know what I mean? Like he wilding. You know what I mean? Like what are you on? You know what I mean? And I told him like it's difficult for me. He was like, you already went through it. That's the difficult part for real. And then, I ended up performing this poem called Memories on Virginia State campus. And that was my first time, like, just speaking about so many things that I went through. And it was like a sense of relief. You know what I mean? And, like, ain't nothing changed. Like, ain't nobody look at me different. You know what I mean? More so it was, I'm glad that you spoke about that because I be wanting to speak about that. Or I'm glad that people are talking about these things because I don't have the heart to, or I don't know how to voice it. You know what I mean? Or I feel seen. You know what I mean?
Right. So, yeah. So do you write for you or for others? Or is it a little bit of both?
I write for myself. I write. It's kind of like, cause I love rap music. You know what I mean? Like I love rap. I think like Jay-Z is the greatest writer of the 21st century. Like so when I'm writing, sometimes it's like I be trying to write slick stuff for myself. But also for, the listeners who are going to appreciate it. Right. And it's like, if they catch it, it's cool. But if they don't, it'll be like, either way. You can't catch that.
I got you.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, like, well, see, now I'm thinking about this. Like, what was your trajectory? Because, I know what it was like for me growing up. This is like outside of the norm. Really normally do or ask a question, but as I keep hearing you talk about college and knowing a little bit about your story, like what was your trajectory to get to college? Like,
bro, so I'm going to city high school, and everybody was just like applying to college. And my aunt Sadiq, she used to always like tell me, if you want to be successful, like go to college. Like it was kind of like this vague thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I went to college, honestly, because I wanted to get away from Baltimore, and I was like, free trip to Virginia. It ain't free, but you know what I mean. Like I get to experience stuff. Like I love walking through new doors. You know what I mean. I went to Virginia State. I got accepted to Virginia Union and Virginia State, and my cousin Avon was a freshman at Union at the time when I was up city, and I was like, yo, Avon, what school should I go to? And he's at Union. He was like, go to Virginia State. And I'm like, do you hate me? Like, you my cousin. You supposed to tell me come to school with you? Like, they got better programs. So they got a bigger football field. So they got more resources. I'm like, bro, what's up with you, bro? He said, but this is what he said. He said the girls at Virginia State way better. I said, all right, bet. just like that.
Just like that. You know what I mean? That's how you get a man to go to college.
And I accepted my offer. And I was at Virginia State studying sport management. I wanted to be a sport agent because all my homeboys was good at basketball. And, you know, kids just being stupid, just, you know, revolving their life, future plans around their friends.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, y'all gonna go to the league and I'm gonna be y'all agent. You know what I mean? So that was like the start of my journey.
Okay.
And clearly I didn't graduate with a sport management degree, but, you know, that was kind of like the start. An English degree, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed as a theme in every question we asking you, you have a uncanny thing where when you feel something, you ask a question or you tell somebody or you talk to them. And then no matter who it is, who you said it is, you pick out like that one piece of whatever they said that was the best part in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go forward with that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You call your cousin, what school should I go to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I be asking questions, bro. Like, I be needing help. Like, yes, I believe that I'm smart and I make a lot of good decisions, but I'm a community-made nigga, bro. Like, I ask for help. Like, I ask for guidance. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I can pinpoint every year in my life, you know, as early as I can remember, people that helped me get to those next steps for real. So. And
that's why, you know, you were talking about it earlier, like it's by chance, but when you ask questions and then you follow sound logic and advice, of course things go right. Mm-hmm. So many people ask questions and don't take their advice.
Don't listen. They ask questions to hear themselves talk.
Why me? Why me? Somebody said, well, think about it. I mean, they didn't choose anybody, but they chose you. And you go, oh, all right, cool. I don't need to ask that question no more. Now I can just be strong.
Learning this forever. And it's crazy because it's this girl who wanted to write a book. And she was like, hey, Connie, I want to write a book and share my stuff, but I got anxiety and I don't be going outside like that and blah, 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 blah. And I'm telling her, like, you got to put all that to the side. Like, that's what courageous is or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then, you know, just throughout the conversation, she just kept saying, but, and I'm like, girl, I can't help you. I'm literally telling you what you have to do.
Right.
You're not going to get it being like that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I always have anxiety. I be scared as I don't know what on stage every time.
Right.
And never get comfortable. You know what I mean? Till like you like the midway through. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's always nerve wracking. And she just kept just talking about what she couldn't do, what she can. I'm like,
well, if you can't see yourself doing,
just be ready. You know what I mean? Just perform. You have to perform on stage, like, to get better. It's like people that go to the gym, like, they have to go to the gym. You gotta shoot free throws. You know what I mean? You gotta practice your 3-point. Like, you have to. Yeah. And it's like, that's our thing. Like, we have to do this thing in order to get nice. You're not gonna get nice by just watching Jasmine Mans on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like the way the generation is going now that is not the same? Like, our generation doesn't have that same energy anymore as far as practicing. Do you feel like they think they're supposed to just have it in an instant?
I think that, we live in like this microwavable society. Everybody just wants something instant. And it's like people see the outcome, but they don't really be appreciating the grind. You know what I mean? Or they don't even see it sometimes, right? Like look at Jay-Z, right? He's larger than life. It sounds kind of far-fetched that he once was poor. You know what I mean? He probably been richer than he's been poor. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, but we didn't, like, a lot of people didn't see that, you know, CD tape out the trunk. You know what I mean? Like putting up his own startup money. You know what I mean? You just see this thing like Floyd Mayweather. You can name pretty much anybody. Well, how many times like we'll see an artist, right, a rap and be like, oh damn, they just blew up out of nowhere. but they didn't know.
Right.
They been rocking for
So
10
what do you think
years.
is the culprit? Like, what's caused that? What do you think the reason is for that? Like, why people have this mind state now?
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like people just always, I feel like people, it's like historically that people just like taking shortcuts. But I think that with like social media and people that do kind of blow up overnight, it kind of elevated that. You know what I mean? That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So going back to the brands conversation, right? Do you have boundaries of like brands you won't work with, pieces you won't do?
I mean, nothing hasn't presented itself in that way for me to say no yet. But I'm pretty sure if it's something that's like, I mean, I don't know, like if I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. But luckily, everything that came my way is like, you know, yeah. But I'm trying to. I'm trying to think maybe. Yeah, I don't think nothing came my way yet that I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
So right now, most of the commission pieces that you get, these people come to you. Like, I know you have a management team, but yeah, they not actively like searching for work for you.
Right. And it's crazy too because even when I teach or, you know, when I'm giving advice, people always ask me like, how do you get these gigs and shit? And I be telling them like, bro, people just be reaching out to me. Like, that's really, it's just, I don't know. It's just so uncanny. Like, people have booking agents and they got to knock on doors and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, all of them, I never reached out to nobody to do anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just, and again, I can't really teach that. But what I be telling people is like, just stay ready, just work, just go outside, perform, like share your work, like share it on the internet, share it in public, share it on the train. I done sold so many books to Uber drivers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All kinds of shit. You know what I mean? Like that's like the best advice that I can give. And there's some people that do work, you know, well with booking agents and they know how to go out there and get it. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's extremely fortunate that, you know what I mean? It's just, people just ask me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a question. Who would you want to write for? Like what brand? Like out of all who you know you've done a few now. If there's any brand outside of the ones you've already done, who would you want to hit you up? It would like make your absolute day. They hit you up right now and be like, yo, Calm, we want you to write for us.
I don't know.
Ain't nobody, huh?
Maybe I would like to write some television. Like if somebody was like working on a film or something,
Okay.
and I could like get in like a writer's room or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could dig that.
For sure. Look, let's break it up.
Yeah, I was about to say we got some things to.
Yeah. So look, we got a few things on the list. We know you love hip hop, so we got this joint. It's called Whose Line Is It Anyways? Alright, so me and Truth go back and forth on what's supposed to happen with this one, but we're gonna share a few words. That's gonna be lyrics from a song.
And we want to see if you can finish it.
Okay.
And then tell us who the artist is, of course.
Gotcha.
You got it?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. You ready?
Yeah, you wanna go first?
No, you got these.
Alright, cool. This one I'm feeling like gonna be a gimme.
Yeah.
Alright. I think we're gonna probably get harder towards the end. Alright, here we go. Even though you was a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama.
It's crazy 'cause I know that song, but I really don't. It's Pac dead mama, but always
Was it?
was something on Everything's Given or something. I don't know.
Is it?
I don't know.
I
Something.
reminisce on the. I don't.
I reminisce
It's
on
on-
that's I
the
called.
line
It was
is so-
hell.
The line
Hugging on
is
my
so
mama from a
strong.
jail cell.
You can't remember the stuff.
Even hold on.
Right.
We was a black queen, mama. Something.
I reminisce
Everything's
on the
given.
pain because it was hell talking to my mama from a jail cell. Wasn't that it? Wasn't that the next line? You supposed to know,
Damn.
bro.
This line, in my mind, I was like,
He just gonna finish.
Do you know it? Do you know the line?
I don't.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I don't. But this line is like, I chose this line in particular because this line and Pop reminds me of you. Like, if you think about what your work is about, like your authenticity and just the strength of it all, I was like, I feel like this might be something that he might know, and it's actually kind of cool that that you don't, because it means you just being yourself and not necessarily modeling yourself after it. But I feel that one so much.
You do get modern day Tupac as far as being authentic. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And the representing this area, even though he ain't really represent Baltimore like that on a major screen for real.
Yeah.
But he was.
He was solid.
Yeah, he was solid.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's one of my favorite artists.
He's gonna say it and mean what he say. Like,
that's one of my favorite artists. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
All right, here go another one. It was visionary. Either I'm genius or you brothers scary. Maybe it's both, and it's balances I deliver daily. For every brother in the streets trying to feed the babies, the single moms working hard not to miss a payment, and dirty money getting washed on royalty statements.
I don't know.
Word, that's Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, damn. Let's check. Yeah, okay.
That's down to our check. Mm-hmm. See, yeah.
Yeah, I'm horrible at this game, clearly.
It's all good. So, all right, here go another one. This is going to be the last one. All right.
Give me some Hov or something, some Jay-Z or something.
See, we done did Jay so much.
True.
So, you know what I mean? All right, so look. I'm in reset mode. That's where I go when I'm trying to reach that goal. I'm trying to tell you, I be giving out hustle. I attract ambition. I'm moving forward right now, doing back-end missions.
I have no clue.
Cool. I'm not going to tell you who that is because this is the same person. I'm going to go to the next one just to see. If I catch the right play, I'm out of the game. My whole life been about dollars and pain. I ain't thinking about signing a thing. I come up around trauma and flame.
That's Nas?
No.
I don't know.
Both of them was YG Tech.
That's crazy.
Do you listen to them?
Yeah, I fuck with Tech.
Okay.
If y'all would have like some Boosie or something or some Hov or something.
Well, give me your favorite Hov song.
Yeah.
My favorite Hov song?
Yeah.
Or bars.
Yeah.
Probably Meet the Parents is my favorite Hov song. And my favorite Hov verse is Freemason. With Rick Ross. I go to the grave before I be in. I didn't look at them everywhere. Niggas couldn't do nothing with me. They put the devil on me. I'd have preferred niggas to squeeze the metal on me.
Right.
Rumors of Lucifer. I don't know who to trust. Whole world want my demise. Turn the music up. Hear me clearly. If y'all niggas fear me, just say y'all fear me. Fuck all these fairy tales. Go to hell. This is God engineering. This is a Hail Mary pass. Y'all interfering. He without sin shall cast the first stone. So y'all look in the mirror. Double check y'all appearance. Bitch, I said I was amazing. Not that I'm a mason. It's amazing that I made it through this maze that I was in. Lord, forgive me. I never would have made it without sin. Holy water, my face in a basin. Diamonds in my rosary showed you forgave him. Bitch, I'm red hot. I'm on my third six, but a devil I'm not. My Jesus piece flooded, but thou shalt not covet. Keep your eyes off my cupboard. I'm a bad motherfucker, his whole, just say you love it. I think I fucked up on that last
Hey,
nah.
he went in real quick. All right? When he know the song, he won't get it wrong. He won't get it wrong.
That's one of my favorite whole verses.
Okay. Yeah. That was tough.
Word.
All right, so now we got this other joint we like to play. So it's called Pen and Pads. So two things, you pick which you feeling out of the one or the other. Like one or the other, you like this one more, or the other one more.
Okay.
And then the last question is always pen or pad. So they'll break down the relevance to that when we ask that.
All right, when we get there.
I'm saying, yeah, you know how you break down like telling us what the pen and pad mean. Like
I'm asking you saying break it down right now.
Yeah,
Cool.
break it down now.
Pen or pad. When we get to that question at the end, the idea is, would you rather be the pen or the pad?
Mm-hmm.
Are you the writing? Are you the thing that brings the word to the page? You know, are you the beginning process of the art, or are you the pad? You know, are you the place where it's displayed, where it lives forever? Are you a functional vehicle for art to go out? That's what we'll mean when we ask you at the end, pen or pad.
Okay.
All right.
We get a little bit of time to think about it while we go through the rest of them.
Gotcha. All right, that's a bet.
All right. So, first one. New Balance or phone posits?
New Balance.
Okay. Commission work or personal writings?
Personal writings.
Okay. Features or commercials?
Features.
Features, okay. I'm going to let you go through the last three.
Cool. Half and half or triple mix?
Triple mix. Northeast Market.
Northeast Market.
Northeast Market,
Yeah.
triple mix.
Hold on, that's the next question. Northeast Market or Lexington Market?
Come on now, Northeast Market.
City love or out of town fans?
City love.
City love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
Now, last but not least,
Okay.
pen or pad?
Pad.
Okay, now let us know why. Why you say pad?
Because I feel like I chose pad because I'm emotional. You know what I mean? Like, my shit, like, live with me for real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, the stuff that I write, it's majority of it, you know, those personal poems, it be stuff that I'm really dealing with, stuff I'm really going through, how I really feel, what I really think is funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, anybody can write, but, like, I wear my shit on my sleeves. You know what I mean? Like, when I write and get on stage, I use that as an opportunity to get free. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably, like, the only space where I just feel like this is my shit. You know what I mean? I feel like that's, like, one of the best versions of myself, like, when I'm just performing on stage for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, like, definitely the pad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big bats. Okay.
Yeah.
So look, man, we got one last segment, man. We got this thing called a Master's Minute.
Yeah.
So what a Master's Minute is we just gonna let you go, man. If you got anything you wanna spit, share, whatever you might have. If you got something, Master's Minute.
Master's Minute. Let me see what I got.
Got plenty in the arsenal, bro.
I don't know what vibe I'm trying to go for. Y'all put me on the spot, man. Damn. I woke up this morning, I looked myself in the mirror and said, you should be nice today. But see the way that East Baltimore is set up, soon as I walk out my front door, I got to break down my mug and prepare to fight today. Because the kid on the playground who doesn't want to scrap always ends up with the black eye. Now I'm the angry black guy, preoccupied with the transcribes that's engraved on my brain by the streets we've been baptized, and you wonder why we backslide. We get beat by police, they checking for drugs and guns that I ain't even packing. I'm just going to the store to get oxtails and Newports for my granny who shouldn't even be smoking. Life is too short. We can always identify the straw that break the camel's back, but fail to mention the events that led up to the collapse. The masters of disguise. We had our trauma behind cheap liquor, Percocets, and weed. The other day I saw a tweet that reads, niggas swear they don't got feelings. Trust me, baby, you not smoking your life away for no reason. There's pain behind them backwoods. I mean, what more do you expect when bullets are cracking craniums and blood is painting the payment that our children skip to school on in these black hoods? Before Deke died, I promised that I'll cross the ocean for him, even if that mean I gotta wrestle with alligators, tussle with whales, handcuff sharks on stormy nights, throw lightning in jail. I gotta move mountains 2 times to move my family out the trenches. Many years ago, my mental health aborted mission. Now I'm martyrs left from a traumatic childhood. A young boy who still cries for his mother, searching for God in a bottle. No Similac, no chaser, straight Amsterdam when I'm low paper, constantly getting hung by the hangovers. I stumble out of bed, I'm puking up my guts. Too many rounds, another night down. Once again slipping off another nightgown. I'm vulnerable, I cry, I fuck, I play, I paint. I leave the hotel room, I don't say nothing to the woman at the front desk. I hop in my car, my engine I rev, I run, I dash, I dame. I put my scars on a jumbotron, and people pay for my pain. If I knew that a poet's life was this lonely, I would have kept my words hoarded in my heart. Would have never harmed my sleeves with intimate harmonies. Would have never tatted pain in permanent ink. I sought refuge in emptiness, seen sorrows end up on a silver platter. public crucifixion, paid for the nails, the cross, and the hammer. I'm at a point of no return, while poetry carries me home. Hands never hit in a glass house that throws stones. My demons war for me when my back is against the wall. So you better have the bandwidth to beef or regret not going vegan while you resting in peace. Since people know with details my personal life, they act as if they know me. They look to see what the mirror inside me reflects. Since too difficult to eyeball. Sometimes I feel dead inside. Sometimes I can smell the decay when I open my mouth. In the mist, I still gave you niggas spare keys to my grandmother's house. I let y'all walk on her carpet wearing shoes, lay in the bed with your soiled clothes. I gave y'all food for thought while I face famine, and sometimes I regret letting y'all. But if I never shared my stories, would I be here today? Help pulling youth off the edge. Getting them to understand the importance of reading. And that popping pills ain't a portal to freedom, even if it might seem, because in reality, you're only as free as your last lived dream. What keeps a rose's fragrance? The thorn that threatens the hand that attempts to pick it. Imagine a scent so sweet, it's worth a nose full of blood. Would a lotus flower hold its beauty if it wasn't grown from the mud? Thank you. No return.
Yes, let's go, man.
No return. Thank you.
Yo came up there
No
like
return.
a first time open mic pro. I don't know, I ain't got it. Bop, and killed it real quick.
I fake wanted to do something new for her, but I was like, I don't want to fuck up. I ain't really
but see, we can edit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Touche.
But thank you, man.
I
That was
really
amazing.
thank y'all, yo, for sure, bro.
Man, so is there anything you want to say? Any message you want to get out there? Also, anything you promoting?
Yeah, where you gonna be?
Just no matter what you going through, just always try to find time to pursue your passion. You know, whether that's writing, reading, photography. You know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, shit get hard. You know what I mean? Like I say, I'm an emotional artist. Like I always wear my shit on my sleeves and on my back. You know what I mean? And sometimes it hinders me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, I'm telling myself this too. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Just keep pursuing your passion. Like, just don't quit. Like, shit gonna get better. You know what I mean? That's for everybody. Like, young, old, whatever.
Okay, say less. You want to tell the people where they can find you?
Y'all can find me on all social media at Kondwani Fidel, KONDWANI FIDEL. That's Kondwani Fidel on all platforms. Yeah, so check out some of my work. It's all, you know, it's very accessible on my website or my Instagram or Twitter. Yeah.
Linktree booming.
Linktree booming.
Hey, listen, y'all. Kondwani Fidel will be at MRI Studios at Polish Your Piece.
Yes, sir.
22nd, 7:30 to 10 p.m. Y'all come through, and a Master's Minute gonna be a dope feature set. So we excited, and we're gonna talk a little bit about commission work and give y'all an opportunity to converse with him himself. This joint was dope, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
This one of those interviews that you planned for, but you really couldn't have.
Yeah.
You know, I learned so much more about you than what I thought that I would get. Like, I thought we would get taught. Like, I thought you'd be like, man, look, this is what y'all gotta do, man. Mm-hmm. This is how it's gonna go to get the commission work. But it speaks much more so to who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Of how you get it. Because you like, I can't even explain that to y'all.
Yeah.
I just be where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm asking questions. I'm following the advice people give me. When people ask me to do stuff, I come ready and I say yes. And that's how I be getting into these doors.
Yeah. And like I was saying, it's not something that like I sought out. Like, people saw it in me. And then that's when I just went forward. You know what I mean? So I don't really have a formula. You know, like, you know, on the 22nd, I can speak more about, you know, how to maintain relationships or, you know, like kind of the stuff that we already know. You know what I mean?
Right. But there's so many people that don't.
Touche. Yeah.
So like, and in this, it was a lesson in itself about the type of person you need to be, because a lot of people are talented, but lack the personality, lack the personal skills to become what should be for them. But you know what I'm saying? Because they are not listening, because they are not maintaining their relationships, because they make it hard for people to see the gift in them or allow people to bring the gift out of them, they're stuck in their own growth. to be where you have gone and continue to go. So like kudos to you on being the amazing person that you are, on top of being the amazing talent that you are.
Thank you, y'all. Thank you, for real.
10 times over, man.
Yeah,
this was amazing.
Yeah.
So again, we can't come get all of these gems from this man. Come see him kill it on at the end of this month, y'all. And we ready to wrap it all?
Let's wrap that thing.
We rocking and rolling, y'all. So remember to continue to be a work of art who works your art to only masterpiece. And we out of here.
Cheer!
Peace.
PYP, baby.